Hello. This is a follow-up to the Sun and Aries video that I did. And this is what happens when your sun is in the sign of Taurus in your astrological horoscope natal chart. Um, so people who have their sun sign in the sign of Taurus, meaning like the sun was in the zodiac sign of Taurus when they were born, these people are. It's not the best sun placement. Um, of course, there's more to a person than their sun placement. But these people, I would say their defining feature is probably they have a great love of material possessions. So Taurus is a fixed earth sign. It's the second sign of the zodiac, the first one being Aries. And it has kind of a stable energy, whereas the sun kind of has an expansive energy. So people with their sun sign in Taurus, they get a disconnect between the sign of Taurus likes to be extremely stable, it likes to chill and have all of its needs already met. Whereas the sun constantly kind of is seeking more, more, more. So there's this disconnect between stability, and seeking expansion with these people that is one of the first defining characteristics. They have a love of material possessions and they want to try a lot of different types of foods because Taurus is a sign that relates to food, it relates to money, it relates to somewhat to your job, like how much money you make out of your job, even though that's partially also Capricorn, Aquarius, and Virgo. But yeah, it's essentially a sign of material stability, wanting valuable things, wanting gems, wanting nice clothes, wanting good food, and wanting a lot of money. So when you put the sun here, the sun is your ego, the sun is your will to dominate. It's sort of related to Mars, the sun, in that it's a soldier. It wants to go out and achieve your goals. Um, whereas Mars wants to win at like single battles. Like Mars wants to go out and conquer another person. The sun wants to conquer your goals. It wants to conquer your life. Um, so these people, they want to conquer a lot of material things. They want to experience a lot of pleasurable activity, and that is one of the defining characteristics of their ego, of their soul. They like eating fancy foods. They like listening to good music. They tend to judge people kind of on their finances, like how much money they have versus other things, like how strong a person might be, which is something that Sun and Aries might seek to judge people by. They kind of always see the world through this materialistic lens. Now, if you're a Taurus and you don't necessarily feel that way, or you feel it only applies to you, you've got to look at your house placement and you've got to look at the nakshatra that your sun sign is in, as well as the position of Venus. So Taurus is a sign ruled by Venus. So if you have sun in Taurus, your sun is going to take on the flavor of whatever sign your Venus is in. So for instance, if your sun is in Taurus and your Venus is in Gemini, your ego is going to, yes, it's going to be about materialism, pleasure judgments, money, food, clothes, jewels, looking beautiful, beautification, but it's also going to be about communication and your ability to communicate with your spouse, with your partners, and also to negotiate and get things, add to your ability to experience these materialistic things. So you just have to look at where your Venus is placed and where what house your placement is in, your sun placement is in. So for instance, if you're a Taurus and your sun is in the, let's say, 12th house of a Gemini ascendant, you might feel very detached from your material possessions, even though you still kind of have this instinct to go after them, but either you're chasing your dream material possession or you just feel like kind of disconnected from them. As in, like, you're like, yeah, that's that food, that's cool. I like food, but like, um, I, you know, there can be this disconnect. But for, I would say, probably 75-80% of people with Taurus suns, the materialism aspect is going to come into play in a major part in their life. They're going to be very materialistic and very focused on pleasure and seeking pleasure. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the thing. A lot of people might look at a Taurus sun and be like, like these people, they're so greedy, they're so simple, they're so materialistic. There's nothing wrong with having a good time. There's nothing wrong with pleasure and being able to feed yourself and being able to be independent and stable. That is a perfectly good goal to have. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that being one of your highest virtues. And if you do have a Taurus sun, congratulations. Don't go and listen to all these people who are saying like, oh, Taurus, like, these people are greedy, they're materialistic. It's like, some very spiritual people I've met have been Tauruses, and if that's the metric you judge yourself by, great. And if all you want is to girls just want to have fun and have a pleasurable time and eat cake and ice cream and pay your bills, like, more power to you, man. Nothing wrong with that. So yeah, that's my video on Taurus in the Sun in the fixed Earth sign of Taurus. Appreciate it. Tune in for more.